I love the texture of our salt. I like to feel it. We're at the Saltworks at Hog Island Oyster Company. We're here at the Saltworks at the ranch above the farm. Now I thought about it too much. Today we're going to take you on a little tour of how we make salt in our hybrid process. First we're going to take you over to the salt sail tower where we do the bulk evaporation. Come on this way. So this is the salt sail tower, and this is where we do our bulk evaporation of water. In order to make salt, you have to take seawater that is generally around 3.5% salt, and you have to get it up to almost 30% salinity before salt will start precipitating out. Now that's a lot of reduction. So if you can look around the back here, or no, actually up there, you see a tank. That's a 1,500 gallon tank. In order to make salt out of that salt water, I need to bring that 1,500 gallons down to about 175 gallons. This is our bulk evaporator. We use the power of sun and wind to reduce and condense that brine up to a point where we can then take it into our second stage. This is a hybrid process, so this is the first stage. We take seawater from Tomales Bay, which is where we grow the oysters, and pump it to the top of this tower and let it cycle down through these salt sails. These salt sails are made out of the same mesh material that we grow the oysters in. So I'm going to check the salinity to see how much progress we've made. We put a little drop of salt water on here, and then this measures how much the light refracts through the water. So the saltier it is, the more refraction. And I am at 8%. Not bad. That means we evaporated more than half of our brine. So I'm gonna head up to the top of the tower. There's a little bridge up there so I can work and just check out how everything's working from up there. It's also a great view. Why don't you guys come up and check out the view. We built the Saltworks from scratch. We built the salt shack with the oven room and our drying processing room, and installed our solar power system. Our whole operation here is powered by the sun and the wind. The original inspiration for this tower was an 18th century European technology called the graduation tower, where they would build these huge wooden towers and stack them with bundled branches of the blackthorn bush. And I actually built one of those models as a prototype in my yard and actually made salt through it. And this is originally what John and Terry came to see. So why don't we go down and let's take a pit stop into the processing room and I'll show you some of the salt. So here's some of our salt that just came out of the evaporation oven. You can tell the texture of this salt is crystalline, puffy, snowy. It has the crystal flake structure, but it dissolves on your tongue. It's kind of unique. It's really my version of a Japanese shio style salt, and I'm able to control not only the flavor and the mineral content, but the actual texture of the salt. So there's roughly 80 some odd number of minerals in the ocean, in salt water. And the mineral profile of Tomales Bay just so happens to be very flavorful. So I've got all the benefits of the minerals and yet subtly manipulated to give a maximum umami, rich, savory flavor. All right, let's head down to the farm. We're gonna fill up a tank with Tomales Bay seawater. We're backing into the farm, and there's a tank that we might be able to use. We're gonna have to go ask somebody so we don't get in trouble. So this is the oyster processing area, and we're gonna pull up and tap into a hose that connects to a pipeline that goes 300 feet out into the middle of Tomales Bay and gets nice, fresh ocean water from the bottom of the bay. We're gonna fill this tank up with salt water and bring it up to the saltworks. So tomorrow we'll come back and show you the second part of our hybrid process, which is the wood-fired evaporation oven, where we're gonna start a fire in the oven and cook down the brine to its final saturation point and start harvesting salt.